Read the body language. And I brought lots of pictures. All right, very good. Oh, is it in there? See, I even had to translate, make sure I was doing it right. Okay. Slide bean. Woo. Who uses? Who uses slide bean? Yeah, love those guys. I thought I'd take a Costa Rican company and use their technology to present from here on out, so that you knew I liked it down here. Well, thank you. Again, my name's Snook. I am from Trenton, New Jersey. Anybody ever been to New Jersey? Sorry. I'm sorry. Lo siento. No. Armpit of the States. That's what they call it. I grew up in Trenton, New Jersey. I moved to San Diego, California because I got smart. How many have been to San Diego? Muy bien. So I moved to San Diego in 1998. I went to grad school. So I graduated undergrad. I used grad school as an excuse to go to San Diego. Told my parents I was going to be there 2 years. Never thought I'd be an entrepreneur. Never occurred to me. Didn't want to be. I played football, American football. So I wanted to play football. And then when that was done, I wanted to be a strength coach, help people fuerte, get strong, right? I wanted to help people get strong so they could play football and I could stay around the game. And I read a book by Napoleon Hill. Who knows who Napoleon Hill is? Very good. In 1999, I read a book called Think and Grow Rich. And I found it in a used bookstore, $1.99. My mom said, you might like this book. And I looked at it, and the cover was torn, and it said Think and Grow Rich, and I went, all right. I was terrible at reading. How many of you realize you can get through college without being a good reader? In America, you can. I don't know if you can do it down here. In America, you can actually be a really bad student and go through 4 years. All I got to know is how to drink. And so I was slow. I would like read 3 pages, and then I would, daydream, and and then I'd go back and I'd read those pages again. So it took me like a month and a half to read that little book. But it changed something, because what it did was it made me realize, it made me think that there was all this stuff out there I didn't know about. And so I started reading other books, but I'm going to date myself. Cassette tapes? I used to go to Barnes & Noble. So the Founder Institute didn't exist in 1999. Lean didn't exist in 1999. None of this stuff existed. The internet sucked in 1999. Right? You searched for stuff on Alta Vista and it took you to like some porn website. It was terrible. I'm trying to find a dog and I'll let you fill in the rest, right? Like, it was terrible. So I'm blocking my own slide. So in 1999, I went to Barnes & Noble and I would buy every book on audio because I was a slow reader, so I would listen. I think I spent $30,000 over 2 years on books. $39, $29.99, Tony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki. I didn't care. I just went and just bought and listened and then went back. That was my Founder Institute. $29,000 some odd dollars on a credit card and with my disposable money to try and learn. And it was not about building a business. It was about my mind and about real estate and whatever. But I got addicted to it. So then in 2000, I was in grad school and I was personal training people. I was helping people get in shape. And I was making $102,000 a year revenue. Like revenue, not income, because I didn't have any of it. But I was making that on the top, and I was always broke. Like, I always broke. And I thought, I'm not doing something right. Because my dad took 30 years in his salary as a teacher to get to a $100,000 salary. And he owned his house without debt. And I was making $102,000, and I couldn't buy you dinner. So I did what was natural. I should go get a business degree because I don't know shit about business. But I know how to sell, and I know how to get people excited, and I know how to help people get in shape. So maybe if I learn this business thing, I'll actually keep some of the money I'm making. That didn't work. I did that for about 18 units, so 2 semesters in the MBA program. The MBA program is called Entrepreneurship MBA. Top 25 school, U.S. News World Report. I'm in there and I'm going, I'm going to just go start a business. Because learning about starting a business is stupid. I should just start a business and learn. Logical. 4 years, 500,000, 500,000 US, so 2 billion colones, something like that. 500,000 US, negative, debt, fail, no business, no revenue, no longer 24, now 29. 500,000 in debt, $30,000 worth of books, 2 years worth of, what was that, grad school, MBA, didn't finish. And I learned a ton. 2 years later, debt-free. Paid everybody back. And sold a business to the manufacturer that took in 24 months, from 0 in 24 months to 1.7 million a month in recurring revenue. So right around 20 million a year in sales. Profitable. Sold it back to the manufacturer. It was operating on 4 continents, and I hadn't even been to 3 of them. I still haven't been, actually. We had 8,800 customers in Japan, and I'm sad that I am just now getting to travel. I haven't been to Japan. But I had a business there that was generating over $1 million a month in revenue. I don't say that to brag, because in 2008, I lost $2.7 million investing in a bunch of new stuff, and I basically gave all the money back. In 2010, I started again, and I made some more money, and we've got a couple businesses that are still out there that could exit in the next year or 2. What's the point? The point is, I've been doing this 15 years. I never thought that I would do this. This was not my DNA. This was not how my parents raised me. I didn't know I was going to be an entrepreneur. Why am I here? Why am I in Costa Rica? But why am I in Founder Institute as a mentor for the last 4 years? Since 2011, I've mentored in Founder Institute. Here's why. Because this shit didn't exist in 1999. $500,000, 4 years. I could have had this, 16 weeks, what, 1,000? I don't even know what it costs, $1,000, 16 weeks? If I had failed, I would have lost 16 weeks at $1,000. Right? What's the, wait, okay. Math test to see how smart everybody is. Option A, 4 months, 1,000 US. Option A. Option B, 8 years, 2.7 plus 5, 3.2 million and 30,000. 3.230. A or B? Which one do you want? A. I knew you were smart. So that's why I'm here. Because I hope tonight, in the next 20 minutes that I have left, I hope tonight I'll be able to give you a couple of things that you can learn from my pain. A couple of things that you can think about your business through. A real big reason to not think, just take action tonight and realize that if you're sitting here, I've been told, and I don't know if this is true, I've been told that all of you actually applied and you've already taken the test, or like you're here because you went through that, yes? Is that true? Almost true? Yes. Nod, raise your hand. Good? Okay. So you already did the hard part as far as being sitting here. I hope you'll learn something tonight from me. I don't get paid to be here. I actually paid to come. I'm enjoying Cocoa Beach. I like it. I've been living there for 23 days. I went to Arenal last 2, Monteverde tomorrow, I'm here today. I'm paid to be here, but I get to write it off because I'm speaking now. So, tax write. I'm paid to be here. I don't get paid by Founder Institute, never got a dime from Founder Institute. I can give 2 shits if you join, personally, because I'm not here for that. I'm here, I want you to do it, because if you have this idea, if you're here tonight to learn something, take everything out of me you can. Ask me whatever questions you want. I have nothing to hide. I will give you 15 years of anything that you want to know. Pain, ugly, worst thing I ever did, most embarrassed I ever was. biggest check I ever got, the good, the bad, and the I will give you whatever you want to learn from me tonight. And it's all free, and you can take it all, and you don't have to join Founder Institute to do it. My call to action before I get into this would be, if I'm willing to do that, and the other mentors that are here every week, week in and week out, in this market, willing to help you, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you sign up? So that's it. That's my sales pitch, because I don't get paid to sell it. But that's my sales pitch. All right? Now, let's talk about this stuff. Oh, look at that. That's a little reminder. Do the extra rep every day. Who knows what a rep is? Yeah, there's nothing. Listen, guys, the world sucks. It's all normal. Everyone's a loser. They drive around, they shop at Walmart, they shop at Target, they're happy in a little SUV. This is America, right? They get to go down and buy a little condo and timeshare. Who wants that? Do something, right? Do the extra rep. Be different. So, all right, vision and values. How many of you have a vision for your life or for your business? Raise your hand. How many of you want a vision for your life or business? Be honest. Good. How many of you aren't sure? How many of you won't raise your hand tonight no matter what the hell I said? I got everybody. Good. All right. So this is something I'm trying to sound like the rest of the people I'm going to show you on these quotes, like intelligent. So this is my quote, right? Then the rest are actually really good. But I do believe this. We live in the most interesting time in humanity. 300 years back was what? 1715. Right? We're in 2015, 1715. I don't know what life was like in 1715 in Costa Rica, because I don't know enough of your history. In 1715 in America, we had not yet declared independence from Britain, because that was 1776. So if you've ever seen anything on the American Revolution, or if you know what Costa Rica was like in 1715 from your history books, picture that really fast. Just picture that. Okay, got it? Think about Costa Rica and the world and the economy today. Most of you are recording this on a smartphone, hopefully periscoping it, tweet it, whatever you want to do. There's the handle. I'd love to connect with you on all things social. We're holding smartphones that today, this phone, the LG 4, has more processing power, 625 times, I'm told, the processing power of every PC that existed on the planet Earth in 1993. This one, 600 times. And I don't know how to use it. Be in front of Arnold, right? That's what I do with that much power. What's the point? 300 years, 1715 to 2015. Exponential change, yes? The next 20 years, Gerd Leonhard, if you don't follow him, write that down. Gerd, G-E-R-D, Leonhard, L-E-O-N-H-A-R-D. He's out of Switzerland. Gerd Leonhard is a futurist. He just quoted in Hamburg, Germany. The next 20 years, 2015 to 2035, will see the same amount of change in that 20-year period that the last 300 years have seen combined. Huh? We can't even compute that. If I give you a penny and doubled it every day for 30 days, or I gave you $1 million right now, how many of you want to sit on this side of the room? I'm going to draw a line. Everyone from right here to there, I'm going to write $1 million check to right now. They're going to take it home tonight, and they can cash it tomorrow. Everyone here, I'm going to give you a penny tonight. But it's going to double for 30 days. You have 30 seconds to choose to stay here or there. How many of you want to leave? You can go over there too if you want. How many of you want to leave and switch? How many of you are doing math in your head right now? Here's the point. I'm going to fast forward it for you. A penny doubled every 30 days doesn't even get interesting until day 28. 1 penny today. What's tomorrow? What's the next day? Oh, wow, so Friday I have 3 pennies. They got $1 million sitting in the bank already. Saturday, 6 pennies. Sunday, 12 pennies. It's like $8.44 on day 16. How you doing? They've had $1 million for 16 days. You've got $8.44. People will start to question that, won't they? Do I darn, I should have taken the million. You know what happens at day 28? $844,000 over here. Uh-oh. What's that mean on 29? Round it up. 850, just go up to 850, right? 850 times 2, 1.7. Day 29, 1.7 million over here, 1 million over there. Losers! Day 30, what's 1.7 times 3.4? Penny double 30 days is 3.4. Yeah. It's 3.4 million over here, it's only a million, right? That's exponential. We are at day 28, technologically. We can't understand the problems and the opportunities that means. 3 billion people, 3 billion with a B, are online right now with one of these. Guess how many more will be online in the next 24 months? 3 billion more. There's 7 billion on the planet. 4 billion live on $2 a day, but 3 billion of them have one of these. And in 24 months, 3 billion more are going to have one of these. But in 24 months, this is going to suck. This one is going to be slow. This will have 18 months, right? Technology, Moore's Law, 18 months, double. This will be twice as fast, if not further, and twice as powerful by the time 3 billion new people have it. What does that mean? Think about it. Get a vision. What does it mean? It means anything. It means 3 billion people that have never been able to transact, never been able to create, never been able to be part of humanity's consumption cycle are coming into the market over the next 24 months, not as a buyer, not as a stupid American going to debt to consumer, not that. A consumer that produces, distributes, creates, and recycles that every day. That is mind-boggling opportunity. That means Costa Rica has just as much opportunity as Silicon Valley. That means somewhere you and I can't even spell in Africa has just as much access. But we got to change our thinking. We got to stop thinking we're not able to. We have to stop thinking like we've thought for hundreds and thousands and whatever years. That's the hard part. So having a vision is people who can see the actions, the necessities, the problems, the challenges that they're facing today, that their friends and their family and the people they care about or their culture may face tomorrow. The people that can see that and that can understand the world we live in and can come up with something that simplifies that and makes sense. Here's the key thing today. You remember one thing, and if someone can translate this in Spanish, please do, because I don't want anyone to miss this. Be a sense maker. If you can help, if you and I can help make sense of complexity in simple ways so that you and I, not everyone else, but you and I can actually do something with it. And we can actually understand it, and it actually does something of value in our life. It solves a problem, it saves us money. It does. If we can make sense of stuff for people, the next 24 months are your oyster. You will see more companies go from 0 to $1 billion than you've ever seen. It's not something that happened in a bubble. Instagram didn't go to $1 billion in 2 years because of a bubble. And I'm not saying there isn't a bubble. What I'm saying is that's not why they did. They did because they're on this part of the exponential curve. Kodak invented that same technology 20, 30 years before. But the timing wasn't right. You and I were taking selfies back then. This didn't exist. So, have a vision. If you have a smaller vision, that's fine too. Here's what I like to tell people. After 15 years of being an entrepreneur, I've found out that I think there's two types. Two types of entrepreneurs. I call them innovators and operators. Now, this isn't a fact. This is my opinion. Take it for what it's worth or not. 15 years, innovators and operators. Innovators, I'm going to go back 1 second. Innovators are pay the future price, pay a dear price in the present, revered for eternity. Innovators are people that don't do it for the money. How many of you have heard the quote by Steve Jobs, put it in the universe, right? That's a famous one. That's what the innovator's mantra is. The innovator wants to do something that lasts, that lives far beyond them. They don't care about the money. They'll hurt their family. They'll get divorced 4 times. They'll go bankrupt 100 times. If it takes 101, fuck it, I'll do it. Right? They'll do it because if they die, they want to die trying to change the world, or they want to die actually having done it. Right? That's the innovator. In my experience, 3 to 5% of entrepreneurs that ever get on the field of entrepreneurship actually are built for that. And actually even want that. The problem is, what do you read about in TechCrunch and all these things? You read about those stories, don't you? So if you're an entrepreneur that goes, man, I just hate my fucking job. Right? Or I just want to provide for my family. Or I just want to create. I want to do art. I want to do whatever. I want to play my music. I want to have a business that I control. That gives me a lifestyle that allows me to have a better life with my family and kids. That's just as noble, my friends. It's just as noble. Here's why. The operator type entrepreneur is someone who's trying to change their world. The innovator won't be happy unless they change the world. But you know what's great about both? If you're an operator entrepreneur and you're successful changing your world for the better, you are one less person the world has to worry about. Does that make sense? So, first thing with vision, I'll give you a couple of quotes, and then we'll go into it. The distinction between the past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. I see Einstein on the wall here, so that was serendipity. Winston Churchill, the empires of the future are the empires of the mind. These are so that you don't think I'm crazy and I'm just making all this shit up, right? Winston Churchill said that the future was about the mind, not Chris, right? So, that's my favorite one. How many of you know Confucius? Confucius said, man who aimed at nothing, or woman, sure to hit it. Gotta have a vision. Gotta have a dream. All right, so you have 2 visions in your life. The mistake I made early on, some of the mistakes I made early on, is I was hell-bent on building a big business or a business, right? I wanted to do that. So my vision was, I'm going to go get successful, which meant $1 million, whatever it meant, right? And what I didn't realize is I didn't realize why I was doing it. Like I didn't have a vision for what I wanted my life to be as a net result of me being an entrepreneur. Because no one really told me to do that. They said, why do you want to do this business? And I'm like, well, I want to do it to make money. I want to do it to help my family. I did all the right stuff. It wasn't wrong. But I never thought about it like, wait, what does my life look like? Do I want to travel? Do I want to see the world? Do I want to, like, what do I want? Forget what I do for a living. What do I want out of life? And then what do I want for my family? If I'm married or if I have children, which I do now, things like that. Like, what do I want for them? And then, what is that vision? Because if you're not clear on that, you could get in a great business, but it's the wrong one for you. And that's a sure sign of failure. Because even if the business is successful, you'll feel like crap. And the only thing worse than losing millions of dollars is making millions of dollars and hating your job. It's honestly worse. Because actually, once you fail, you just, like, I played football, so I used to always get hit. You know that 11 people in American football are trying to stop you in football, soccer. 11 people trying to stop you from scoring a goal. That's what makes it fun. If every time I lined up and kicked the ball and it went in, go, he wouldn't be going, go, he'd be like, goal. Again. Line them up. And they scored 2. Goal. None of us would watch. There wouldn't be a stadium in San Jose that holds thousands of people if soccer was goal. It makes it fun because 11 people are trying to prevent you from scoring. Business is fun because 11 people are trying to stop you. That's fucking fun. Because it makes you better. You have to become more. You have to figure out what's in this meat suit. Right? What's in here? What's in here? What can I put in there? How strong is this? How strong is he? Is he coming with me, or is he going to poop out the first time I get my clock cleaned? That's what makes it fun. It hurts. It's like falling in love. Right? Sometimes you get hurt. You fall in love. But there's nothing like love, is there? Nothing like good, you know what? All right. So, parallel visions. One for your life, one for your business. Life, we got it? You're gonna design one over the next 16 weeks. You're gonna be thinking about whatever business you're trying to build. You're trying to also think about, is that gonna be the vehicle that gets me where I want to go in my life? Because there's so many good ideas, guys. There's millions of ideas. You'll have way more ideas you ought to be able to execute. Figure out which one's going to get you where you want to go fastest and do that. And don't apologize for it. And if you're not Mark Zuckerberg, or if you are, who gives a crap? Build your vision, build your life, build a business to get you there. That's the whole point. Otherwise, just go work for someone. And do what you want on the weekends because you don't have any overhead. There's nothing wrong with that either. But take the next 16 weeks to figure that out. Don't take 4 years. Fair enough? All right, so back to the vision. When you get a vision, you're going to have to communicate it like you will a little bit here to us as mentors, right? So make it short, make it concise. Here's what we do, here's who we do it for, right? The Mad Libs. How many of you have seen Founder Mad Libs? Founder Institute has a thing called Mad Libs, which is a great little way to get your vision and your value proposition into one sentence. So I'm not going to take it away from them because you've got to sign up to see it. Actually, you don't. It's free online, so you don't have to. That was just me trying to. Come on, baby. All right, next. Okay. So again, Zuckerberg's in the beginning, I'm told, I didn't have a conversation with him in 2005, but I'm told in the beginning, his vision was to be the world's largest interactive phone book. That's clear, isn't it? So Facebook in 2005, when it was just on college campus and everything else, his vision in the beginning was, we will be the world's largest interactive phone book. How many of you realize that? Yeah, they did. I've been calling people for free from Costa Rica on two things, Skype and Facebook Messenger, because Mark Zuckerberg had a vision. So I call my parents and I send them pictures. They talk to me more here than when I live in the States. And it costs me, why? Because advertisers are paying for it. All right. Ooh, it went on its own thing. So Martin Luther King, he had a very powerful narrative. Once you have a vision, you got to get good at communicating it. That's the other skill you want to develop. So here's a quick. I like things that are words that turn into stuff. I can't remember what that's called. There you go. I needed to come to Costa Rica where everyone speaks Spanish to remember an English word. Acronym. Future. So fulfilling, undeniable conviction, trend riding, or trend setting. So you know what fulfilling is. You know what undeniable conviction is, right? Can you tell I have a little bit of conviction? A little. Right? I might be batshit crazy, but at least I know it. Trend riding or trend setting. I want to talk about that. Trend riding is one choice. Trend setting is another. It doesn't matter which one you choose. But make sure you're not like on the wrong trend. Like if your vision tonight was to go sell a business that sold cassette tapes to guys who wanted to start a business for $30,000, that's not a trend you're riding anymore, right? That's not a good business anymore. If you want to go set up a Blockbuster video chain and rent VHS tapes, probably the wrong business idea today. That's not trend setting and it's certainly not trend riding. So be one or the other. If you're riding a trend, don't be too early, right? The risk of trend setting is you're the one who creates the path that everyone else goes and runs down and gets rich on. And you have all the arrows in your back. So VCs, right, will really look at team and really look at past performance if you're trend setting something. Because they know from hard money spent that they don't want the arrows in the back and someone's going to get them. So every space, whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's cryptocurrency, whether it's any of those new spaces, if that's what you're interested in, fine, be interested in it. Just be prepared for the objections that come when you say why you're going to win. They're going, okay, that's great. We believe this space is going to happen. That's why we've invested so many millions and billions of dollars into it. We also believe it ain't going to be 95% of the people we've invested in. Right? Those are going to be the dead ones. So Facebook wasn't first. You don't have to be first. Trend ride or trend set, just be clear on what you are so you know how to cover your weaknesses. Unreasonable, relevant, engaging. Why unreasonable? Why? Who wants to tell me why it should be unreasonable? Yeah, so thank you for participating, by the way. It takes guts to participate. I appreciate it. So why unreasonable is if you're going to raise capital. Okay? If what you're going to do is build a business that is that operator type business, where you're taking care of your world, even if that world is several million or whatever, that's fine, but you take care of your world, and you're going to raise money from friends and family, or rich friends of yours, or you have money and you're just going to start something you want to return. It doesn't necessarily have to be unreasonable, because you're trend riding, you're basically operating, you're looking for efficiencies, you might be going out to a market that already exists, it's highly fragmented, and using that capital to consolidate it, right? Perfectly great business, not a bad strategy. You don't have to be unreasonable with your vision in that way, necessarily, because you're going after different sources of capital. A bank doesn't want you to be unreasonable. They want you to be very boring and predictable, which is why you'll never get money from banks typically, right? So not every business idea needs to be unreasonable, but what I'm assuming is that you're trying to do something big, because you can always ratchet back, that's not the problem. And if your vision is big, make sure it's really unreasonable. If we talk about that curve of exponential growth, why it has to be unreasonable is if I put $1 million into something as an institutional investor, what do I expect back? Anybody know? Ballpark guess? Double would be like, I don't hate you, but that sucks. Why? Why double though? But that's not a bad answer. Why would double not feel great to a VC type investor?
See, it is reasonable.
No, but close. What did you say?
It is reasonable.
How many investments does a venture capital firm typically make? Right? How many actually win? Yeah, sometimes none. Most venture capitalists never get a return, so they don't raise another fund. What business is a venture capitalist actually in? Does anybody know? They're not going to like this when I say it, but they won't deny it either, because it's true. What business, if I was a venture capital fund managing partner, what is my livelihood based on? Yeah, but for the sake of what? What do I want 10 years from now? More money. I want another fund. Why? Because the next fund keeps my salary and my benefits and my carry going, right? I get to still be a VC. See, if I raise a $100 million fund and I make a bunch of bets and none of them work out, or they work out but I only get back $100 million, which means I return principal, but it took 7 to 10 years, I actually lost my investors' money, and now I want to go raise another fund. Who's going to give me money? No one. And what am I out looking for? A job. So the real business a venture capitalist is in is raising their next fund. In order to raise their next fund, they must get big returns in their current fund, so that all the people that invest in venture capital give them their money. That make sense? Now, a $100 million fund needs, regardless of how many companies they actually invest in, typically a $100 million fund might invest in 20 to 40 companies over a period of 5 years, and then they kind of harvest or double down in the next 5, right? So over a period of 5 years, they might do 20 to 40 deals. Some will do 60, depending on their model, right? They need 2 to survive. They need 2 to return the fund. What that means is they need 2 of those companies to give them back $100 million. So every time you sit down with a venture capitalist that has a $100 million fund, whether you think you're a business that's that big or not, in their head, whether they say yes or no is based on, will they get you to a big enough number by exit where their diluted percentage that they still own gets them back $100 million. And they're looking, and you're going, oh, should I ask for $1 million or $2 million? If you want to chip, don't worry. If they're a $50 million fund, their mechanics are, I need every investment I make to have a chance at bringing me $50 million. Because if I'm good, 90% of these are going to go out of business or be dead on arrival, which means they're just limping along and they're no value to me, but they're not dead. So I need every one of these bets to have the chance. So if I'm going to be an A-round investor or a C-round investor, I'm going to get diluted if the thing goes B and C and I can't pay to play. So if I get diluted and I'm only at 10 to 20% when the thing goes out, how much is 100 million? 20%. Means the company had to go sell for $500 million for me to get my 100. So if you're sitting down and you've got their business lean canvas, right, and you're like, I need $1 million to launch this thing, to go build out my software and do this, and you're talking about a $100 million fund, and he's thinking, or she's going, okay, how is this company going to get to $500 million? Because if they don't, my mechanics don't work. I know VCs, including Adeo, who runs Founder Institute, that told me he had a company they loved. They fell in absolute love with them. They loved the team, they loved the technology, they loved everything else, and the only reason they didn't invest with expansion was because they couldn't get their company. They couldn't get the valuation to a point where when they were fully diluted based on their projection, they would have more than $60 million out. And he said, so because even though we loved everything about it, we didn't want to punish the founders by saying we need more, we need a lower pre-money valuation, because they didn't deserve that. They deserved the valuation they were asking for. But for our mechanics to work and write a $2 million check to them, they weren't going to get big enough, in our opinion. They were only going to get $60 million, and we needed them to be able to get 100. And he loved them, so he referred them to other people. Enough of that. My point is, that's why you got to be unreasonable. Law of rewards compensation, and I'll show and take questions in a minute. I have a quick video I want you to watch that's going to change your world, or it's going to tell you you're not built for this. In which case, I just saved you $1,000, 60 weeks. You go home and watch late night TV. All right? The law of all rewards. Compensation is based on this: the need for what you and I do, our ability to do it, and the third one, what does it say? Replaceability. How do you say replaceability in Spanish? Or replaceable? Man, you say it so much better. What he said. How difficult or easy it is for us to be replaced is actually what dictates how much money we make. The need for what we do, sure. The bigger the need, the bigger the opportunity, right? But the more people playing for that. So you can have a small need in its niche and still make a lot of money if you collapse the whole market and everyone's buying from you. So the need is important. Your ability to do it. Doesn't that go without saying? See, in America, I don't think they do it down here. Please don't ever do this. If you have anybody that you know in like Little League sports, do not let them do this. In America, what they started doing 10 years ago is they started giving every kid a trophy. So when you played Little League baseball and you're El Nino, they would give everyone a trophy even if you didn't win the championship, because they wanted them to feel good about themselves. And then what happens is we send them out to the real world and they get their butts beat by everyone else who's hungry, who didn't get trophies for just showing up. So don't do that down here. When I was raised, that wasn't the case. I'm a little older, right? So when I was a kid, if you sucked, you sat on the bench, right? They were like, you don't get to bat, you stink. Go practice. If you sucked, you went to right field because no one ever hit the ball out there. So if you couldn't field, you played right field because no one ever hit the ball to you, which means you couldn't screw up. So you're out there on the field and you're just picking dandelions, right? Now everyone rotates. Got to play every position. Why? Because you want everyone to feel included. It's bullshit. It's not the real world. The real world says, if you suck, fuck you. Right? But that's not politically correct. That's not nice. People hate this video that he's shooting, right? Because Chris said that, right? It's like, fine, I said it. I'm not saying I wish it wasn't different. I'm saying that's how it is. If we suck, we don't get anything. If we're great, we get good rewards. If we're excellent, we get great rewards. If we're the best, we get all the rewards. How many of you know who won the 100-meter dash the other day? Usain Bolt. How many of you never watched track like me? How many of you know who came in number 2? Yeah, and he lost by like 100th of a second. Justin Gatlin, I think. But that's only because I read it, because I know he's going to talk about this. It's not because I care, and it's not because I know. Almost everyone in here knows that Usain Bolt is currently the fastest man in the world, but none of us knew Justin Gatlin's name until just now, percentage-wise. Some of you might have. What's the point? The point is, 8 people run 100 meters at the Olympics on the world stage. 8 people. And they're the 8 fastest human beings that live on the planet, and we only give a shit about one of them. and Wheaties and Nike and whoever else writes big checks to who? One of them. And everyone else gets a little check. The silver medal, the gold, the bronze medal, they get like little, okay, good, thanks for trying, maybe a bit next time. Here's your shitty little check for the sneaker brand no one wears, Reebok. Right? Reebok's actually jumped back because of CrossFit, but for a while, the last 10 years, Reebok was like, you wear Reebok. How to sponsor you? Who are you? Starter. Oh, who's starter? I want Under Armour. All right, so replaceability. How hard is it to replace you is what dictates it. If you look at professional sports, why are they making billions of dollars as owners? Why are the players getting unreasonably why does Ronaldo buy an $18.5 million place in Trump Tower? Why? Because he's worth it? Yes, he is worth it. But why is he worth it? What is soccer on television? What is it? It's entertainment. Is there a need for us to be entertained? Yes? Right? Because we don't all work all the time. Do we like sports as entertainment? Some of us. What pays for sports to be on television? Sponsors and advertisers. People that are trying to push their product on us. Cell phone companies, soft drink, beer, right? How many of us like to watch? Think about you as a watcher. How many of us love watching commercials? A couple of you.
We're advertisers.
Well, you're advertising, so you watch it for homework. So you're working. You're not entertaining, you're working. How many of you, when you're not working, I do the same thing, so I understand. How many of you, when you're not working, love watching commercials, or how many of you actually skip through them? Skip? How many of you like Netflix or something like that? You have that in? Why? Because you don't have to deal with that stuff. Why else? Because you can watch it when you want, not when they tell you it's on. True? What's the one thing you and I will not watch on replay? The game. Why? Why won't we watch the replay on game? Or the game on replay?
You know the story already.
We already know what happened. And why does that matter? Because if we watch Grey's Anatomy or if we watch some TV show that's popular and our friends already told us that so-and-so dies in episode 13, we still watch it. Why doesn't it matter then? Why does it only matter that it already happened when we're watching a game? Why? What's the social consequence? We're a loser. We're out of the loop. Our friends have been tweeting and Facebooking and Instagramming it play-by-play in real time, and our phone's going beep, 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 beep. If we moved it around, we could kind of have some real fun, right? It's going off every 6 seconds with the score, with the updates, with comments, with trash talk, with go, you suck, and we're going, no, we don't, we're coming back. We're out of our social loop if we don't watch it in real time, and because of that, what will we sit through? Commercials. And because that's the only damn thing we will sit through commercials for, what is the value of the teams and the enterprises that provide that entertainment compared to the other media plays that are out there? That's their irreplaceability. You can't replace live sports because there's no other medium that makes you and I willing to sit through 3.5 minutes of bullshit and interruption in real time. Everything else we will skip. So because of that, it's the only inventory left to buy. And because of that, the values of the teams are 20-fold, 30-fold more. And because of that, you got to play the players more. Does that make sense? So think about that. Make sure your business model fills a need that you can be the best at. Don't be good at it. Be the best at it. I don't care what it is. Preschool. I don't care what it is. Pick something you can be the best at. And then make yourself irreplaceable. All right. Habits to cultivate vision. Oh, by the way, these are all on slide B. I'll sell them to you, or sell them to you. I'll send them to you. I'll sell them to you. Credit card swipe. She's picking her nose. I'm saying don't do that, do this. It's a lot of the stuff we've already covered, so for time I'm going to skip through it, but you can read it. This is a great quote. To me, consensus seems to be the process of abandoning all beliefs, principles, values, and policies. So consensus, it, is something in which no one believes in, but no one will object. Margaret Thatcher said that. We've all been taught, let's get consensus. Let's make sure everyone's on board with this one. No one will object to that, because who would object with everyone feeling good? But the reality is consensus means no one actually believes in it. No one actually is going to jump on a grenade to make sure it doesn't kill the rest of the organization if it's a consensus thing. So part of this is you're going to have to be bold. You're going to have to be willing to have your own feelings hurt, and you're going to have to be willing to be let down. The hardest thing about being an entrepreneur the last 15 years has been the real hurt that's come when people have let me down and probably when I've let others down. Because it's never a one-way street. At the end of the day, I picked everybody I went into business with, so I'm responsible, and so will you be. But be bold in the process. All right, values. Again, you can read those. That's my family. So for me, it starts with that. I want them to feel loved, and I want them to be proud of me, and I want to die going to bed knowing I did everything I could, and I played the game as well as I did, but at the end of the day, I want them to be proud. And I don't want them to be proud of my accomplishments. I want them to be proud of who I was as a person. So what's yours? The takeaway from this slide is, what is your deal breaker? There's only going to be one or two. So when you think about vision and values, think about this. What is the one thing? Someone wrote me the perfect check. Someone made me the deal of a lifetime. Someone gave me everything that I said I wanted. But this was included. I had to do this. And that thing is the deal breaker. You get everything you want, but you got to do this. What is your deal breaker? You don't have to know anything else. You have to know where your boundary is. What is your thing that you will not sell out for? If you get clear on that, you can fear nothing else. Because once you're clear on what you won't do to get where you want to go, everything else is an option and nothing else is to be afraid of. So spend some time tonight on that. What's your deal breaker? Get clear on it. Last bit, watch this video.